everyone, and welcome to Stampin' Chat Live. I'm Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you coming in from all around the world. Tonight we're going to have some fun because we're going to be using our brand new Christmas in July card kit, although it is August now, but we're not done with it just yet. We're going to be using that new kit, and we're going to be making some really cute I'm going to be making a really cute border card, and then I'm going to show you some of the cards that I made and that I shared at the release party, so you'll have lots of different ideas. I'll also take high quality photos of those and make sure that they get posted both on our YouTube channel, on the post tab, and in our Facebook group over at Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. Well, before we get started with tonight's video, I want to say a big shout out to Brianne Loveland. Brianne, thank you for being here and linking everything for everybody. We appreciate you. And let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
Hey.
Ooh, look at you.
Yeah, man. We're mixing it up here tonight. All kinds of...
We're tropical tonight.
Tropical vibes.
Yeah.
Yes, mixing in tropical vibes in the dead space. And, or would you say... Tropical island.
Oh, yes, tropical. Oh, good.
A tropical island adventure.
I like that. The first word of the day of the night.
Tropical island Christmas adventure.
Yes, that's it.
That sounds fun.
It does sound fun.
Yeah.
I have to show you something, Tom. My friend Vicki Donnelly, who is often in the chat, very, very often. She supports everybody. She comes to as many lives as she can. She also does moderation for Mindy Egan. She made me something.
Uh-oh.
You want to see what it is?
Let's see it.
Yeah. All right. Let me put my glasses on. Let's go to the overhead. Look what she made me.
Whoa.
She made me a Zeus mug.
A Zeus
Look at that.
mug.
Isn't that just the cutest thing?
Oh,
Vicki, I love it. If you're here tonight watching, handmade with love, hand wash only. And look, she stamped our little incentive stamp from last month. Isn't that just beautiful?
he'll stick his face in that.
He will. Put some water in there. I don't know what to do with it because I love it so much that I want to have my coffee out of it, yet I still want it here in my studio because I spend so much time here that I want to fill it with pencils and stuff. It's such a hard decision, Vicki. I love this so much.
Will you keep it here and you drink coffee here?
That's true. I could do that. But, I don't know if I should store things in it and make it part of my craft room decor or if I should just drink coffee out of it. Maybe I'll drink coffee out of it for a while and then I will retire it from the coffee cabinet and into the craft room. Maybe I'll do that. I just love it so much. It's so cute. And she put his name on there. So, Vicki, thank you so much for this. I absolutely... Vicki said I can make you another one. You're so sweet. You know what's going to happen if you make me another one? Tom and I will be drinking coffee in the morning out of them.
And as usual, Zeus is so excited tonight.
He's so excited. You know what? I wanted to show you something else I made, guys. So I had a Sunday afternoon with Rena, and we had a lot of fun because we went to a pottery place, like a place where you do ceramics, not really pottery, but ceramics. And I made Zeus a little plate, a little dish. I made that.
Wow.
Isn't that pretty? I used a dotting tool and I made that. So it's a cute little food bowl for Zeus, but also now I'm looking at it going, wouldn't that be just a great little thing to throw my dies in when I'm done using them so I don't lose them?
Wow, and did you use any kind of lines or anything to line that up or just eyeball it?
Well, I did take a pencil and I just hand drew a line going across and across and across and across just to...
That's great.
But I didn't use a ruler or anything, and I really thought I was going off track, but I ended up not going off track, so yeah. So I made that. That was really fun. So I have two beautiful new pieces of ceramic, a little Zeus bowl and my gorgeous Zeus cup. So fun. All right, back to card making. So in tonight's video, we're going to use this stamp set. Now this is from the brand new Christmas in July kit. It's called Joyful Borders, and we haven't used this one yet. We've used everything else from the kit except this one. So I thought it would be really fun to make a card with this set tonight. And I hope I have a gel pen here because I want to show you something that I did Let me see if I have one. Did I take all my gel pens home? Well, I'll look around a little bit more. Oh, here's one. Let's hope this one works. Yeah, it does. Okay, I do have a Uniball Signo gel pen here. So I'm going to show you just a little trick if you want to kind of hide something. We're going to do that at the end here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start with a lighter color ink. So I'm going to just get a piece of white cardstock here. This is our layering white. And I am going to stamp this image right here. I love all of these images, but I definitely want to use this one tonight. Just because I want to do some colored pencils in Gamsol. And good news, guys, our kit did sell out, but we dug through the warehouse and we realized that we have almost everything that we need. We do have everything that we need to make about 400 more kits. So we are in the process of doing that, and they should be back in stock soon, and then we'll be completely sold out. But this one really sold quickly. So when that goes, make sure you get on the notify me list if you're interested in one of those. Okay, so I'm going to use some craft ink for this, and this is just a little tip that I love. You'll notice that I am put my cardstock up here in the top corner of my MISTI. Oh, that's not right though. It needs to be butted up against there. There we go. So it's in the right spot here. And I'm going to go ahead and ink this up with some craft cardstock. Now, if you have trouble, and I generally don't have trouble, but I wanted to show you this technique anyway because some of you live in more humid climates than I do, and you might find that your ink smears a little bit when you stamp it in black, and then you either use alcohol markers or pencils with Gamsol. So if that's the case, this is a really good trick. Now I'm going to stamp it a second time just to get it a little more crisp so I can see it well. And this is with the craft ink. Now don't take your stamp off of the MISTI when you do this technique. All right, so I am going to leave this right in here, but you could take it out and put it back in if you wanted to, because we have it lined up here in the top right-hand corner. And as long as we put the paper back there, we're going to be able to re-stamp this in black. Now, I was thinking of doing a card in different various shades of purples and blues, and I wanted something that would go nicely with our, let's see, with our powder blue. So that one looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Let's look at this one. Oh, that's even better. I think that one's better. That's a little bit brighter. So this one is called Blue Lake. So let's use Blue Lake. And then I wanted to do something that would go well with either light lilac or medium. So I'm still going to use a super light hand, but I think I'm going to use the medium because our powder blue is pretty bright. So I think that will look pretty good. And what I can do here, just to be safe, is I can just take a little bit of this ink there. Oh, that's a little bit bluer, isn't it? It's more bluey.
Bluier.
It's bluier. Well, let's see how that goes. Maybe we'll switch that purple to Wild Lilac. Let's see how Wild Lilac looks with that. I feel like Wild Lilac might be a better choice here. Yeah, let's do that. We'll do the Wild Lilac and the powder blue instead of the medium lilac. The medium lilac definitely has more blue in it. This is more, I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but can you see how this has more of a bluish tint to it, and this is a more reddish purple? So let's go ahead and use those. I'll come back to this MISTI. Okay. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. The piece of cardstock is just a quarter sheet, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but I'm going to cut this down anyway, so it's not going to matter all that much. As long as you have a piece of cardstock that the design fits on and you can cut it out with the coordinating die, you'll be good to go. Okay, so I'm going to start with my blue color, and I'm going to color real close to the line here. And I'm kind of coloring with a bit of a heavy hand. And then I'll make this one purple, and then I'll make this one blue again. Blue and purple are non-traditional colors, that's for sure, for the holidays. But you know, I've been getting into the non-traditional colors. If any of you came to my class that I did with Simon Says Stamp on last Friday, we used like pink and emeralds and all kinds of colors, and it was really fun. Sometimes those non-traditional colors are really great. All right, I'm gonna start at the second one on this one. And I'm gonna blend all of this out with Gamsol. That's why I'm going kind of with a heavy hand. And I'm gonna blend it upward, right? So that it's gonna be darker at the bottom and it's gonna get lighter as it goes toward the top. Kind of replicating the light coming from the top of this. Okay, so for this one, I'll start up here at the top. And then I'll can always add more if we need it. All right, and this one, why don't we do the blue up here and we'll do the purple on the inside parts. I know I missed that other one. I'll fix that in just a minute. And then we'll go down here. How many of you like coloring with colored pencils in Gamsol? I'm going to show you the one that I did with my Ohuhu markers as well. I made 2 cards with Ohuhu markers. I'm not a fancy Ohuhu marker artist, but I'm not a fancy colored pencil artist either. But I'll just show you the difference because this is going to look more textured than the markers. The markers just are nice and crisp and solid with no streakiness at all. Alrighty. And then we'll get this down here. Now, we'll color in all the blue parts with Gamsol first, and then we'll go back and add our purple. We'll see how that looks. Okay. So I'm going to get a blending stump, and if you're new to colored pencils in Gamsol, you're going to want to use blending stumps. Now, these are blending stumps. We have these. They are out of stock at the moment, but they are coming back in. And then you can use a little bit of sandpaper, or you can use a like a nail file, a finer grit nail file, and that will take the color off the end from whatever you were using before. And I don't know if you can see this, but this has some yellow on the tip. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that yellow so my blue doesn't get green. I just want to get rid of that. And you can see that I'm turning it, like I'm rolling it in my fingers like that when I sand. This way it keeps it to a point. If I just went like this, it would flatten it out. And then in here, I have some liquid Gamsol. And again, I left my new bottle at home, but it comes in a bottle that's shaped like this and it says Gamsol on it. You can find it at any art supply store, and usually they have it at the big box craft stores too, and they probably have it at some of the online shops too. All right, so I I dipped my blending stump into the Gamsol, and you can see I got Gamsol up into the blending stump. You just don't want to tap it like do one of these. You want to hold it in there and let it absorb some Gamsol first. Okay, so I'm just going to use a circular motion right on that color to kind of break it all down, and then I'm going to go back and forth and just bring that up toward the top and get lighter as I go. See how that blended? And do the same thing. I like turning it upside down, and it feels better to pull the blending stump toward me than to push it away from me for some reason, but whatever works best for you. You'll get a lot of texture in your coloring if you use Gamsol. It feels like very textured coloring. Like it doesn't feel like you can't feel over it, but it looks like it has feeling. Where something like Ohuhu markers or Copic markers, they're very, very smooth and they don't have any texture in them at all. Unless you put the texture in, you can do that. My artist friends can do that. I've seen some amazing coloring. Okay, I'm just getting lighter as I go to the top. Just gives you that nice light shading. And see what those are starting to look like. And you can tell when you need more Gamsol on your blending stump because it starts to squeak on the paper. So when it starts to get squeaky, it's time to redip and resaturate. Now this is a little bit more difficult to see. It doesn't look super vibrant because the ink isn't black, but when we go back and stamp over it with the black, it really will make the design pop. Right now it looks a little bland.
All right, technical question from Denise.
Yes.
She said she tried your technique of using the stab, I think she means the stump,
Yes.
to fill in silhouette stamps. How do I get the black ink off?
Oh, sand it off. This has black ink from doing that. You see that? It's got black ink. Just take a nail file, something like that, and just sand until it's gone. That's all you have to do. Okay. That was an easy one. Just give me easy ones, Tom. My brain. It's been a week. And it's only Tuesday. I really like the way this is looking. See, I'm just kind of moving the pencil a little bit with the Gamsol here, just to pull it out, get it out of there, and smooth it out. Now I can like work that color up. You can start to hear it squeak a little bit there. I feel like I had a little bit more blue on that side. I think that looks pretty good.
Okay, and from Christine, please, Gina, how do you use your blending brushes and ink pads? Do you have each size blending brush for each ink pad color?
I have each size blending brush for each color family. So you'll notice we have a kit that we sell that has a stand, and it has space for 30 brushes. So it has a large, a small, and a detail brush. 10 spots for each of those. So, and that will give you all your color families. So you would have one for your reds, oranges, yellows, greens, turquoises, blues, purples, pinks, browns, and black and gray. So that would give you 10. And then there might be some special colors that you want to add, and that's fine if there's a color that you use a lot and you just don't want to constantly be dealing with rubbing the color off. Like I have one just for my soft stone because I use soft stone a lot. But that is the best way to do it. Just maybe look into that kit and then you'll have everything that you need. Okay, so now we're going to get into the purples here. And I'm going to add that row of purple down here.
Okay, and Christy is wondering, she said, I have never heard of Gamsol before. What is the advantage of using this versus just coloring lightly?
Well, if you're good at coloring lightly and you know how to create that depth, then by all means do that. But there's a lot of us out there that really struggle with that. We struggle with too heavy of a hand. We're not able to do it that well. So this really makes us look like artists, right? It gives us that ability to blend from dark to light, and it's very smooth looking. So that's why we kind of like it. But if you have the ability, and I know a lot of you do out there, a lot of you don't like Gamsol, you don't really think you need it, and you don't need it, then you really don't have to use it. You can just use the colored pencils and work from your darks to your lights, and and blend. Gamsol also adds that kind of cool texture. Can you see the texture in there that you get from that? Is that clear, Tom? Am I too close?
I think you're too close.
How's that?
Yes.
Yeah. You get that little bit of texture in there. I used our craft ink palette for this, and I'm going to go back and stamp over it in black onyx in a little bit. Some people like this look. It kind of mimics a no-line coloring type of look, where the lines kind of disappear. They're very pale and light. But I want to go for a more dramatic look. So there we go. There's my purple. Now I'm going to add some little purple triangles here.
Shelley heard that a few more kits would be added online, but she hasn't seen that yet. Are they going to be available, do you know? Or
yeah, I just mentioned that earlier, that we have, I know she probably just got here, we have about 400 more going in stock. We looked and we had enough materials to make about 400 more. We didn't expect this kit to sell out so quickly, so we will be putting those back in stock as soon as they're available. The best thing to do is get on the notify me list for the kit, and then when they go back in stock, emails will go out. Okay, so there we go. We've got those purples in there. I like this color combination, but I feel like it's going to look a lot better when we get the black ink on there, because the craft ink is a cool ink. It's a cool color. I mean, it's a warm color, and the colors that we're using pencil-wise are cool colors, and I think they clash a little bit. So if I wanted this to look more like no-line coloring and I didn't want to stamp over it, I probably would have used a color like Soft Stone, because that is a cool ink tone versus a warm ink tone like Craft. I'm just doing these a little bit at a time here. Yeah, this is super relaxing too. So for those of you who aren't great with blending your pencils, this is also a really fun way to color in your coloring books. I would just put a little sheet of paper in between, like a sheet of cardstock, just because the Gamsol can get wet, you know. You could see how like the areas that I just used are a little bit damp. It does dry up and then it disappears, but you don't want to ruin anything underneath. But it's kind of a fun way to color in your coloring books too, if you have coloring books. I'm interested to know in the chat, Tom, you can tell me what a lot of people are saying, what seems to be popular, what your other kind of crafty hobbies are. I'll tell you, mine are doodling. I love to doodle, so I like drawing just big open areas on a paper and then kind of filling it all in, very zen doodly, zen-tangly looking stuff. I like doing that, and I had a lot of fun doing ceramics. I also love to sew, but I haven't sewed for a really long time. But when my kids were little, I used to make all their clothes. So I'd love to know what you guys do as secondary hobbies to card making. Some of you might scrapbook. I think probably a lot of us have tried everything. Like I've tried jewelry, beading, I've tried, what else have I tried? I tried a tiny bit of soap making. Didn't have a lot of patience for that. Definitely scrapbooking.
you had a request here to bring your doodling framed images in if you're finished.
To do what? Oh, my doodle. Oh, yeah, I can do that for sure. I can definitely show you some of those. I have a couple of them framed. I'm planning on hanging them up.
Oh my, there's quite a variety of crafting projects.
Yeah?
Cross stitch, making journals, sewing, diamond dots, diamond art,
Oh, I want to try diamond art.
embroidery.
Oh, that sounds fun. I've tried some crocheting, but it took me a long time to figure out how to get to the next row. I could make a chain that went on for 400 miles, but I couldn't figure out how to go back. All right, let me find a gray. So this is warm gray, 30%. I don't know if I should be using a warm gray here, but I'm going to. Just a little warm gray at the bottom of each of these.
So many. I caulked the bathtub. Does that count?
Yes. We love that hobby. We love when you do that hobby. It's a great hobby. All right, I'm going to sand down this blue one a little bit. It's got some turquoise on it. It's hard to sand the blending stumps down when they're wet, so you do have to let them dry before you sand them.
Sylvia does silversmithing.
Oh my goodness. I've seen that. We went to a cool place when the kids were in school where they showed silversmiths doing stuff, and it was very cool. All right. So I think that looks pretty good. It's very soft, but the colors are exactly what I want them to be. So the violet one that I used was Parma Violet. The blue that I used was Blue Lake, and then warm gray, 30% was the gray that I used. If you want yours to be exactly these colors, you may want to do different colors. All right, now I'm going to put this back into my corner here, and then I'm going to get some black ink, black Onyx, and I'm going to restamp this to make it nice and vibrant. Donna's first live. Welcome, Donna. You'll get lots of love from everybody. We have newbies. We have repeat offenders. Okay. And so now I'm adding the black. I think the black just makes these lighter colors really pop. Isn't that fun? I also like that I went a little outside the lines, but I feel like it gives it dimension. I don't know if you can see that, but it gives it some dimension there. And that's just kind of a me problem because it's harder for me to see, but I love the way it looks, so I'm not complaining at all. It makes it look like it's got a drop shadow a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to get another, well, I'm going to clean this stamp, and then I'm going to pick a greeting. We do have a bunch of talented artists in the chat, for sure. So, I wonder, I'm going to use Wishing You Joy. I think that's going to be really cute. I'll do Wishing You Joy. So I need another piece of cardstock because I drew all over this one. So I'm going to do Wishing You Joy here. I love these sentiments because they're big, they're really big. But if you want, you can cut them apart and you can stack them. So you don't have to stamp them in one long line. And I'll show you, like in some of the other ones, how you can just trim them in between them. That looks pretty good. One stamp did it. Okay. I did grow saffron last year. And every one of my bulbs came up. I had enough saffron. I think we just used the last of it, didn't we, Tom?
We did.
Yeah. I had enough saffron to get us through the winter. And then it should like double this year. The bulbs double year after year. Yeah, I love to garden. What's the advantage to re-inking versus buying a new pad? I know the difference in cost, but, well, some people just like a crisp new ink pad, and they don't want to be bothered with re-inkers, and they don't want to be bothered trying to figure out how to store them all, and they're not really interested in doing techniques with re-inkers. So buying a new pad really is just a very joyful occasion for them to just get a nice brand new crisp pad. Other people really like re-inkers because they like doing all the re-inker techniques. I've shown a lot of those on my channel. And, you know, they like the ink pad they have, and they just want to, you know, keep it and make it work. So it's really kind of up to you what you want to do. All right, so I'm going to cut this out. But if you're not a big fan of doing re-inker techniques, and I'll tell you the truth, for my ink pads, I very rarely have to re-ink them. I've re-inked them a few times, but man, I haven't re-inked them very much. And so I'll never go through a whole re-inker unless I really focus on re-inker techniques. But storage is a big thing for people. If you don't have a place to store 72 re-inkers, it might be easier just to, you know, replace the pad as you go. All right, so there we go. I've got my cute little ornament design. Isn't that just the cutest little image? Oh, I love it so much. I love gardening too. That's another great hobby.
Beth, we put our saffron in old saffron spice bottles, right?
Yep. And we like if you're asking what do you put it in as far as cooking? Oh, you can make some fantastic saffron rice. All you need is the saffron and a little bit of butter, and it's amazing. Okay, so I need to find the Wishing You Joy. Is this it? I don't think that's it. That looks too big to be it.
Saffron rice.
Saffron rice. Here we go. Wishing You Joy. So you guys know that Brian, my son-in-law, designs all of our dies for our coordinating stamps. I used to do it, but then when he came and started working with us, he took that over, and he's way better at it than me. So you've probably seen lots of improvements over the years that he's been working with us as far as the way he designs them, because he cuts out all the little holes, and that's what I love about what he does. He knows how to just get in there and do all of that. So when he was designing this set, he and I talked a little bit about it, and he said, you know, I designed these dies so that if they want to, they can cut them out as separate words. So you would just need a little snip there where it says joy, and you would just need a little snip up here between the G and the Y. And he did that rather than kind of going around and keeping it low in here and high up here, because he said he thought that this would be more valuable if you could snip them apart and you could stack them and do wishing you joy or wishing you joy. Or, you know, maybe you have a scripty die in your collection that says joy, then you could just cut the joy off there, and it really doesn't, you could see here, it really doesn't mess up the look of the wishing you. So I love that he did that and made these very easy to cut apart for stacking purposes. And then you don't have to cut your stamps, because I know some people cut their stamps and other people are very afraid to cut their stamps apart. And there's reasons to be brave and cut your stamps apart, but also Sometimes it can be kind of hard to line them back up, especially with clear stamps, because sometimes they get a little misshapen. So by having the dies do that work for you, oh, I still need my die cutting machine. I'm not paying attention. Having the dies do that work for you, it just makes it so much easier. Okay, so I am going to just cut a quarter sheet of this white cardstock. I'm going to do that off to the side here. Yeah, I've cut mine sometimes, but it almost has to be like I cut it if I know that's the way I'm going to use it most of the time. Otherwise, I tape off and just stamp the part that I want. You can tape it off with some pixie tape. You can do that if you've never seen that technique before. You can put a stamp on your MISTI, like the Sending Love. If you just wanted the word love, you could take a little tape like this, and you could put it over the sending part, like that. Just like that. And then just ink it up and then peel the tape off and stamp it. So, you know, that's another way that you can go without actually having to cut your stamps up. I would cut my stamps up and then somebody would do some amazing technique and I wouldn't be able to line them up. Okay, so I'm going to use Master Layouts 2. And I'm going to cut myself a rectangle here. I'll tighten this up just a little bit. And I'm going to cut this out. I know, leave it to Brian, right? I'm supposed to be the crafter and he's supposed to be the tech wizard. You know, the guy, but he's so artistic. And he does really think. He thinks like an artist, so he's probably thinking in ways that I don't think. Okay, so now I have that cut out with my little border. He's very fun to work with, too. He just designed some coloring stencils for me today for a special project I'm working on, and oh, they were amazing. He and Alicia both can do that. I cannot do that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut one of the smaller dies from Master Layouts 2 using some black cardstock. I colored the, what color did you first stamp the image with? Oh, that was Craft. I used a Craft ink pad for that. Probably should have used soft stone though. So if you're like thinking about doing this, try soft stone, because I was a little off when I stamped the second time because I pulled it out of the MISTI and I didn't have it lined up perfectly. So you can see the little shadow layer, and the shadow layer is in Craft. I think it might have looked a little better if I had done it in soft stone because that's a cool color versus a warm color. It still looks really good though, I'm not complaining. All right, now let's get a sticky mat. So I have a sticky mat here, and I'm going to get my ink stand. So Brianne Loveland, you know what to do. Share your ink stand link. We don't carry the ink stand in our store, but my friend Brianne Loveland, who is the inventor of that amazing product, will share her store link so you know where to find it. It's a great product. Everyone needs an inkstand. Okay, and now I'm going to use the Twirl-it Checks, and people always ask me when they see my cards, how did you do that again? Where's that video again? So I'm just going to show it to you again. So you want to line this up so that it's even side to side and top to bottom. So I'll tell you where to look to get it to look right. So I'm going to just put that down. Now you want to have even little ripples coming off the end here. These are the little ripples, right? You want to have those coming off the side and coming off the side over here. And then you want to have about the same amount of space at the top hanging over the edge that you do at the bottom. Is it perfect? No, but it's close and it's straight, and that's what really matters. All right, so the colors I decided to use were powder blue and wild lilac. Now I'm going to use a very, very light hand, and I'm not going to go all the way to the edge. I'm just going to tape that down just to be safe. So I'm going to start with powder blue. I'm going to ink up my brush with some powder blue. And I'm going to start right in the center. Now, like I said, I'm not going to go to the edge. I just kind of want to create a little grounding panel for my stamped image. So I'll start here in the center. And I'm going to work my way over, down a bit, over. So I'm kind of not going past this row here and this row here. Now when I say I'm not going past it, I'm letting the bristles trickle over the edge a little bit, but I'm trying to stay in there because I don't want it to go all the way to the edge. I want it to kind of fade out to nothingness. All right, so we'll see how that looks. You can always go back and add a little more ink too if it doesn't feel full enough to you. All right, so there we've got that nice little bit of color. Now I'm not going to worry about cleaning this stencil because like I said, this, I feel like blues and purples mix so nicely together. Now this is the Twirl-it, but I probably should have called it a Shift-it stencil. So it was here, right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to shift it so that now the boxes that are already colored in are going to get covered with the stencil. And that's pretty easy to see. And now we're going to try that wild lilac. It's one of my favorite stencils too. I go back to it a lot. We have the Twirl-it rope, we have the Twirl-it gingham, but I tend to go back to this one quite a bit. All right, so light-handed again. And just filling in the empty holes. I don't know what that was, but it made me nervous. Try not to go out too far. But I just love the look because this creates white stitched lines in between. All right, so here we go. Oh, look how pretty that is. Isn't that so pretty? I love it. It feels so warm and quilty, doesn't it? Like the perfect little winter quilt. And of course you can use, it's a great one for autumn too. So there I've got my little bit of backdrop there. And I think we nailed the colors because these colors, let's zoom in again and look at those colors together. They look really, really close, don't they? It's pretty good, huh, Tom?
Loving it.
All right, so my layout is going to be, I'm just going to lay these here. And then I'm going to have my Wishing You Joy just under here.
It looks like twine.
Twine?
Twine.
Twine.
You know, the twine that you used to use for some things?
It's got that look like it's stitched in between, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Love that. So this is going to be my basic layout. Now for cardstock color, I definitely think powder blue would be a really pretty color with this. I think it'll bring out the blues. It just has a cool wintry feel, but I do want to look at soft stone with it because I want to see if that will make it feel even more wintry and not take away from the colors. So this is soft stone. You guys tell me which one you like. So that's soft stone with it. And then here is powder blue with it. Well, you put the powder blue on there and it really pulls out the color, doesn't it? Makes it just, it gets so much more vibrant. I'm going to do a poll. Let me do a poll. Start a poll. Which card base color do you like best? I should say what card base color. Should I say what or which, Tom?
I think. Good question. Good question. We'll get some advice on this. It sounds like which.
Which? All right, I'm going with which. And I'm going to spell it like a witch. Just kidding. Here we go. All right, take the poll. The poll's at the bottom on YouTube if you're on a desktop. I don't know where it goes when you're looking on your phone. Maybe you could see it, Tom. I don't know. But I'm going to cut the powder blue just in case, because I can tell you right now powder blue is at 91%. And I know we could go rogue and do a completely different color. Oh, it says lilac? Wild lilac. This is wild lilac. So, powder blue, wild lilac. Yeah, they're both there. Powder blue, wild lilac. I didn't do medium lilac, which is different than wild lilac. See how much more red is in the wild lilac, and there's too much blue in here. These are just, you wouldn't get that same contrast. Plus it was hard to find a colored pencil to match because I don't have a full set of Prismacolor pencils here. Oh, I see. Okay, no wonder it's, all right, I'm ending this poll. We'll try one more time. I did soft stone. Okay. Which color card base, oh my gosh, color card base do you like better? Oh my gosh. Powder blue, we're going to take the poll again. Powder blue or soft stone. No wonder you couldn't vote for wild lilac. You didn't even get to see wild lilac. Okay. All right, there you go. Take the poll again. It's down at the bottom. Okay. Oh, now powder blue. Powder blue is still winning, but not the way it was when you didn't get to see the other color. I guess that's the trick, Tom. If I want to use a color over another color, just don't show anybody. All right. So powder blue is at 68% right now. Should I cut a soft stone just to be safe? Have one ready to go? Maybe I'll do that. I have all my grays mixed together. I don't think I'm going to need it though. I'm looking at this poll and it's at 69%. This doesn't even look like soft stone. I don't think I do have soft stone here. The thing I like about soft stone as a color in general though is it is very very light, very pale, very light. So it's going to look good with black up against it. Where some of the darker grays, you don't get enough contrast when you're mixing those. So I'll show you that too. But we're still at 68%. I think people really like that pop of blue. That makes them happy. But let's take a look at it when you lay it on the black. All right. Because I think maybe it looked a little drab just up against the soft stone without that pop of black. So there it is with the pop of black on the soft stone. So that's the soft stone. And here's the powder blue. You can change your answer if you want. Did you know that? On a poll, you can go back and unvote and revote. We don't sell the paper tray organizers here that you see behind me. These are from Stamp & Storage. I love the Stamp & Storage organizers. All right, it's still, everybody's saying, nope, still like the blue. All right, we're going for the blue. So for all of you that like the soft stone, I'm so sorry, but the good news is you can make yours with soft stone. Alrighty, now I'm going to layer this up here, and then I want to show you a little trick because I'm going to use some pearls to make it look like these ornaments are kind of tacked up. They're hung on something like little nails or something. Okay, so I'll get that on there. And then we'll put it on the powder blue, the clear winner. Powder blue. I know, the soft stone looked good with the black, right? They both look good. Let's put it this way. You can't go wrong. Whichever one you picked, you can't go wrong. All right, now we're going to put this on with foam squares. We're going to pop all of this up. So we'll get Wishing You Joy down here a little bit, and we're going to pop this up with some foam squares. So we're going to use a combination of large ones and small ones for this. I like to have everything in place before I start putting the foam squares on there. So we'll use some big ones for the ornaments. And we're going to use half one on that, a half one right here. Then for these tiny areas, I'm going to use some small 1/4 inch ones. 1/4 inch one there, and one over here to hold it up. Come on, let go. There we go. And then, oh no. And then we're going to use some skinny ones that I already cut in half here. I've got some half ones that we can put in these areas. I like popping stuff up. I feel like it gives it so much more interest when you pop it up. I do want to put one more little piece here right on the end to hold that down. Okay, I should probably put something there too. I don't know if this is going to be too big. Let's cut another halfie. There we go.
We all know Gina K overbuilds her cards.
I overbuild. I blinger. I overbuild.
They are Miami rated for hurricane force winds.
Ready. Yeah. That's funny. Miami rated. I could have put more here too, but for the sake of the video, I'll just put it on here like this. Okay. So we'll get it right here.
Gina would use rebar if she could for...
What is that?
It's the big metal bars they put in concrete.
Oh. Maybe. All right, Tom. So while I'm positioning this this word, while we're in the word mood, do you happen to have a word of the day?
Well, here we go.
Word of the day, oh hey, hooray, let's laugh it up, don't delay. Word of the day, it's here to stay.
Okay, I am in my wonderful shirt that looks like it's a white shirt that had a run-in with a blender. Tropical. Loving the tropical vibe.
Smoothie
here.
shirt.
And you remember for, I think it was Father's Day, you got me some cologne.
I did.
Yeah, it's like a beachy kind of cologne.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say, I am feeling quite smelligant these days with my new cologne. And I will take that cologne back to the dead space.
That's a good word of the day. Oh my goodness. All right. So we're going to use some small black pearls here to kind of string along the top there. I'm going to get a couple of them out of here. Oh wow, that one fell the right way. I love when that happens. Okay. And also you can add sparkles onto the centers of these little little snowflakes. And I'm going to do that tonight too, because I think that that would be really cute. So I'm going to use the Connect Matte glue, and I'm going to put tiny little dots right on the ends of the strings here. I'm going to put, should I put one? I'm going to put one here and here. And then I'm going to put one right in the middle here, but you're going to see the ends of those strings, and I don't want you to. So we're going to get our gel pen in on the action. All right. I have glue all stuck to the end of my jewel picker.
The Nook BK Crafts said that word of the day made sense to me.
Oh my gosh. Very good. I love that. Oh my gosh. That's cute. Oh, don't turn over like a turtle on its back. Okay. So this one here, you can kind of see, can you kind of see how the strings protrude outside of that one? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get my gel pen, and I'm going to just start it on a little scrap of cardstock here just to make sure the gel is flowing. And then I'm just going to tap a little bit of white up against that and a little bit of white over there. And that, we'll get rid of that. Probably should have done it before I put the gem down. It's been so long since I made those cards that I don't remember quite what I did. Let's do that. We'll pull this one off if I still can. I think I can. Okay. Let's just move that out of the way. So we'll hide some of that. Just by dabbing some of that white gel pen on there. Kind of make it disappear. Once it dries pretty flat. It doesn't dry very shiny at all. And then we can put our, here it is. We can put this back on there. And then I want to add a couple little sparkles onto the little snowflakes there, because I think that's going to make a big difference. Why don't I do that now and give that gel pen just a chance to dry? So what I want to do with these is I want to use some of our dots. We've got those dots in pastels. We've got them in gold, silver, black, and iridescent. And I'm just using a tiny little bit. Now, what's nice about these is you can use the absolute tiniest iridescent dots that you have, and they are super tiny. So I see these over here. You can barely see them. Let me see. Let me try to find one in lilac or a color that will work. Like, some of these are so tiny. Can you see like that little blue one right there? Right there. They're really tiny, but they're the perfect size for in between, in the middle of those dots. So if you've looked at those and you're like, what am I going to use those for? Use them for little tiny areas like this. They have so much sparkle, and I'll show you that when we turn it side to side and you can see. But they're in there, and they're just tiny little bits and pieces. And I saw somebody in our Facebook group, they spread all of these out, and they organized them by size. I don't think I have the patience to do that, but I was very impressed with that.
What is it about non-traditional colors for Christmas cards or holiday cards that's so fun?
Isn't it fun? I don't know. I love it. I think it's super fun. Trying to find all the tiny blue ones.
And then when you come back to traditional colors, it's even fun that way too.
Right, because, yeah. You can't make every single, well, you can, but I can't. I can't make every single card red and green for the holidays. I can make some, but I have to change it up. And something about like these colors, they really feel wintry. You know, they're cool tones, so they feel super wintry. All right, so you'll be able to see this. Can you see the shine there? See them sparkling? But they're so tiny, but they're just perfect for that. Can you see that, Tom?
I can see it. It looks great.
Yeah. So they're the perfect little thing. And, you know, I know a lot of you, when you get your iridescent dots, you're like, I don't know what I would use those tiny ones for. So this is a great thing to use them for. And if you have the silver and the gold, those are great. You have the black, those are great too. Now I did lose my black dot. Here it is. So I think my gel pen is probably, I don't know what that was. Oh no, it's a little bug. Get out of here. Like a tiny little gnat. My goodness. I'm drawing bugs, Tom. Squeeze some of this out. There we go.
Little
put
Nat
the cap
King,
on.
Little Nat King Cole.
Little Nat King Cole. All right. And let's put this last one on. There we go. And you don't see the little ends sticking out anymore. So there we go. There is the card for tonight. Super fun card. Now I want to show you, I made one on release party. Well, I made one for the release party in kind of blues and greens. I colored these with Ohuhu markers, so you can see it's a different look. This is much more shady looking, and it's got that texture in it from the Gamsol, where this is very clean and crisp, right? And the colors I used for this were apple mint and sea glass. And then I found Ohuhu markers that kind of matched. I wanted to show you this one too because I used the same set, and it's just a very similar layout. I used, instead of this stencil, the Twirl-it, which one is the Twirl-it Checks? I used the sweater one. Let me see if I have it here. Sweater Weather. It's this one here. Sweater Weather. Let me show you what that looks like. So I used that on here for behind there, and I just used two of the other borders and put the Sending Love and Warm Winter Wishes. But again, you see where you can just cut that right there? You can cut that Sending Love right there. And the Season's Greetings is pretty easy to cut. You'd have to just do a little bit of a curve right there. So, oh, and I wanted to show you here, look at the silver ones on there. That's what the silver ones look like. They really sparkle. So you can see the silver ones on there. Joan likes the colored pencil one the best. I like the colored pencil look. I did the Ohuhu markers with the other ones, but the colored pencil one definitely gives you that kind of that texture. That's the only way I can describe it. It has like a little bit of texture look to it. So, But there are some cards that you can make with that Joyful Border stamp set. This is constructed exactly the same way. All I did was cut one of the borders out, two of them, and I just flipped it upside down to put it at the bottom. I actually positioned my greetings in the center and then added the top and the bottom, trying to keep everything spaced evenly. But there are some, cute little cards that you can make for the holidays. I think that they're so adorable. And easy. These are very easy. I know it always takes a long time when you're going live because you're talking about stuff, you're answering questions along the way and describing what you're doing. But if you start mass producing these, even if you cut a whole bunch of these out and you just sat on the couch and watched TV, Saturday night, put a movie on and colored them all, then you could really bang, 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 mass produce them. And it's a great holiday card. Very fun. All right, Tom. Well, we're going to give away a gift card tonight to one lucky viewer. Let's see here. I thought the live stream stopped because I looked over and it was back to the main screen, but I must have hit pause. So sorry about that. We're going to give away a $15 gift card to one lucky viewer. But before we do that, if you liked tonight's video, and I sure hope that you have, if you wouldn't mind giving it a thumbs up, that really does help our channel. And if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, we would love it if you would subscribe to the channel. All you have to do is hit the subscribe button and then drop down. There'll be a drop down, hit all notifications, and you'll never miss another video. And did you know, Tom, it's a small percentage of people who watch every week that are actually subscribed. So just check to see if you're subscribed because you might not be. All right, and then if you'd like to join our Facebook group, we'd love to have you over there. It's called Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. It's got 51,000 members, and we're all sharing projects using Gina K Designs products, so it's easy to find inspiration for the stamps and dies and stencils that you have. And then, Brianne Loveland, thank you so much for linking everything tonight. That's really helpful for people. If you missed a link and you're looking for all of the products that I used tonight, including the kit where you can get your name on the Notify Me list if you missed out, you can find everything that I used tonight on our website at ginakdesigns.com. All right, Tom, come on in and let's give away a gift card.
All right, drum roll. Here we go. Tonight's winner is the Baby Nurse 7161. The Baby
yay.
Nurse.
Congratulations, you are our winner, Baby Nurse. All you have to do is send your name and email address to info@ginakdesigns.com and we will get that right out to you. I have a feeling I know who that is. I'll take pictures of these tonight and I'll post them on Facebook and here on YouTube so that you guys can see up close finished pictures and you can save them in a folder and you can make these when you get your kit. All right, everybody. Well, this was so much fun tonight. Tom and I will be back on Thursday at noon Central Time with another Stampin' Chat Live. We hope you'll join us for that. In the meantime, stay safe and healthy. We love you all so very much and mwah. We'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.